a song we wrote together. It's called You Don't Come. When the fish don't bite, when the creek runs dry, you don't come this way now anymore. The flowers are all faded now, the birds don't sing a tune, and you never heard their song till it was right in front of you. Oh, the truth and all the lies written clearly in the sky, signs you couldn't read through your half-closed eyes. No, 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 the fish don't bite, when the creek runs dry, you don't come this way now anymore.
Performing in front of a live World Cafe audience at Washington's in Fort Collins, Colorado. That was Big Richard with You Don't Come from their upcoming new album, Girl Dinner. I'm Raina Douris, joined by Big Richard. Welcome to the World Cafe.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
First of all, for people listening to the radio so they can know whose voice is whose, can we go one by one, introduce yourself, say what you do in the band, and Joy, we'll start with you down at the end.
Sure, I'm Joy Adams. I play cello and banjo and fiddle and sometimes octave mandolin.
Hi, I'm Hazel Royer, and I play the bass and guitar in the band.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Sims, and I play the mandolin and the guitar in Big Richard.
I'm Eve Panning, and I play the fiddle.
So this band started with a festival appearance that was just supposed to be a one-off show. And Eve, it was you who got the call from the festival. What were they looking for?
Yeah, I got a call from one of my favorite local Colorado festivals, and they reached out to me and they asked me to put together a band of lady musicians, a lady bluegrass band for the festival. And so, yeah, these ladies were my first call. It was a band that we'd talked about before. We were playing with a different bass player at the time, and yeah, I felt like an awesome opportunity to put together this band and have a really powerful group of ladies play together.
Right. So you already had like this kind of idea was floating around.
Yeah, and it had just never really happened. We'd kind of loosely talked about it at one point, but all of us had never met before. And COVID hit, and the opportunity never really presented itself to make it happen. And so then when it did,
So Joy, Bonnie, when you got that phone call, what was your reaction? When Eve messaged you or called you to tell you, hey, I want to do this. Do you guys want to be a part of it? What was your reaction?
This is what we said. We said, "Oh yeah, bro."
So that's a good sound.
Yeah.
So you were all familiar. So, okay, that translated to yes. And so how familiar, you were very familiar with each other's music before, even though you hadn't met?
We hadn't officially met.
Yeah,
but we
you
knew each other from the scene.
yeah.
We all knew each other.
We'd never played as a band.
So how did you decide what you wanted to play at that festival together?
We just learned all of our favorite songs at that
We had
point.
way too many songs. We had 3 times as many songs as we needed for the show. So we didn't get to play all of them. And that was one of the reasons we booked another show. That, and we got a lot of hate mail about our name. So we were like, well, now we
Really?
have to play again.
People didn't think it was appropriate.
No. They
See,
said
it wasn't appropriate
crass.
for women to be
Crass
making
was
these
the
kind
word.
of jokes. It wasn't needed.
I'm going to admit something that's kind of embarrassing is that it took me a while to realize it was a joke. I was like, oh, Big Richard. I guess it's a reference to a large man named Richard. And I did not get the joke until I was sitting there listening to you guys. I was like, oh.
We actually had some hospitality folks at a festival recently. We went and we used our trailer, and we used it in the way that we normally use it, which is we took or ate all of the snacks, every single one. We'll take them. We'll put them in our van. And then we also turned the AC on because it was very hot. And then the lady who came in to clean up, she's like, I thought you guys were a big man named Richard because all the snacks were gone and the AC was turned down really low. Thought he was really hot. I was like, no, it's just us. We're hot and we love snacks.
We're
there's
Big
this-
Richard.
The stereotypes already coming into play. Could you talk a little bit about that first time you played together and what it felt like playing on stage together?
There's a lot of laughter. There was a lot of, I think something that felt, musically, everything just felt like it gelled really quickly. You know, sometimes you get together with bands and you get together with people you haven't played music with before, and it takes a long time to come up with arrangements and figure out kind of how you want to approach things, but it felt like we just had a shared musical vision.
Well, I'm curious about this because you are so accomplished, each of you individually already, and then you get together to play together, and you're all these strong musicians, strong personalities. How does that dynamic work?
It works so well. And I really think it works so well because we're 4 women. I mean, I love playing with men. I play with a lot of amazing men, but there's a certain vibe. I don't want to say it's competitive all the time, but it's competitive 98% of the time. And there's something to be said about, I don't know, when we first sat down in Bonnie's living room and started playing together, I was almost in tears because it just felt so good. It felt like I could play my best solos because I wasn't competing with them. They were like, yeah, can you do it? Yeah, do it. It was that attitude all the time, and it hasn't really stopped. So it felt everything was very freeing. yeah, every step of it. I think we all got addicted real fast. And we also all like peed our pants in that first rehearsal. We were laughing so hard. These women are so funny. Can't handle it.
Yeah, we laugh all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Save
Sometimes when
us.
we're not supposed to be laughing.
God help us if we ever get pulled over.
Because I don't think we're going to be able to say a word. I'm just going to be screaming with laughter the whole time. I'm going to get arrested.
I'll start crying and they'll let us off.
Evil story. Oh, yeah.
Eve, did you say you'll start crying?
Yeah, and then they'll let me go.
And they'll let us go. That's our plan.
Kidding.
I'm talking with Big Richard on World Cafe today. That first song we heard off the top you wrote together. The next song that we're going to hear was written by Hazel. Hazel, before we hear you guys play Town Line, what can you tell us about writing this one?
This song I wrote just about, I'm from Boston and I live there. And it's just about walking around my neighborhood and seeing all the things that are in my neighborhood. It's pretty boring. No, it's not boring. It's like Mr. Rogers,
Yeah, that's nice.
I guess. Yeah.
Love that.
All right, take us there. This is Big Richard performing Town Line live for the World Cafe.
Touched by a drop, way to the river, through a hole in my umbrella I forgot was there. Steady as the water, the roaring of the dam. I go past the crooked fence where the silence ends. Little do I know, much do I find on a paved path by the river, next to the oldest train I've seen anywhere, next to the town line. Laughter runs in circles through the abandoned factory. It's up the stairs and through the windows boarded up. I can't see. I leave in a hurry. There's something pushing me to go. Must be the murmur of the birds' wings from the floors below. Little do I know, much do I find on a paved path by the river, next to the oldest train
Big Richard performing for a live audience at Washington's in Fort Collins for World Cafe, Sense of Place, Colorado. I'm Raina Douris talking to Eve, Hazel, Joy, and Bonnie of Big Richard. That song was called Toast/Girl Dinner from their upcoming new album, Girl Dinner. And if you haven't heard of Girl Dinner, it was kind of a meme that went around a while ago about how when women are making food for themselves alone, a lot of the time it's like a plate of nibblies, like you'll have like some cherry tomatoes and some hummus and a piece of cheese and maybe like a cold cut sitting there all by itself. That's a girl dinner. And so I have to ask each of you this very hard-hitting question. What is something that needs to be in your perfect girl dinner? Joy, do you want to start over there?
Yeah, my favorite is like chips and salsa, except you take the jar of salsa and you put the chips in it. You like crumble them up. So it's kind of like cereal, but it's like chips and salsa. And then you eat it with a spoon. Girl dinner.
Wow.
Yes.
Starting off strong. Okay. Hazel, what about you?
Oh, I'm bewildered. I like cucumbers and salad bags.
popcorn guy.
Oh yeah, I like popcorn. Okay. So I like getting salad bags from the supermarket that have like all the stuff in it. Especially when you're on tour, it's like nice. You don't have to bring anything. You just get a bag and a salad.
Yeah.
That's all.
Eating salad out of a bag.
Salad bag, similar in vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of, they're
totally.
both in like one single vessel with a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Bonnie, what about you?
Wow. I don't know. I'm gonna say Big Richard Girl Dinner needs pickled okra
Yeah.
because that's our pickle of choice.
It's on our
That's
rider.
it's on our
actually,
rider, yeah.
For our green rooms. We
Some-
always have pickled okra. And
And
they're like,
sometimes-
do you guys actually eat this?
In venues, sometimes we'll be like, really pickled okra? And we'll be like, just find it, okay? Just get us the pickled okra so we can play our show.
And sometimes they can't find it.
And we say, we're not going on stage without the pickled okra.
I just really like cheese.
That tracks. That's true.
And those little pickles. Yeah. If I'm like at home and I'm really doing it, I'll like make ramen, but then put a lot of peanut butter in it. But that's
Peanut butter in your ramen?
Wait, what?
You put peanut butter in your scrambled egg sandwich.
I was
You
like
stop it right
nodding, and then
now.
I'm like, peanut butter in the ramen?
in the
I did that
ramen.
one time.
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
regret
Do
I'm
it.
not judging.
It's really good. But yeah, pickles, cheese, crackers, a little fig jam.
Great.
Ooh la
Lots
la.
of snack ideas if you're hungry later.
We have this thing in our van called Snack Mountain. And when you open the doors, you'll see it. It's right there. Right when you open the doors, it's this mountain of
You have
snacks.
to
It's
summit
usually
Snack Mountain.
it's a
to get
crate,
to
a
your
box,
seat.
a cooler,
Yeah.
and about 6 different totes. And it's massive.
Well
and you have to
fed.
climb over it to get this one chair, and that person has to summit Snack Mountain every time. Be in the van.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the name Big Richard earlier. It obviously is a funny, tongue-in-cheek name for an all-woman band. How did you arrive at that name?
It's about embracing our masculine and feminine energy and having a lot of
Experience on both sides of the line.
A
you
lot
know,
of Big
as we-
Richard energy.
Yeah, a lot of Big Richard energy because we're fully formed humans who lean into our masculine as well as our feminine selves. We all have male alter egos in this band as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have, like, you see us as 4 women. That's what you perceive us as. But inside, we're just 4 strong boys who want to mash grass.
In a boy band.
We're a boy band.
BOI. Boy band.
So do you want to meet our alter egos? Do you want to meet the boys?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
She wants to meet them.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Ski Boy. And Ski Boy is like forever 17. He's always high. He lives in his mom's basement, skis all day, and doesn't have a real job. Plays in a bluegrass band. It's not too far from the truth. I don't live in my mom's basement. She lives far away from here.
I'm Blazel. Blazel likes Dungeons and Dragons, and I think he might live in a mom's basement.
Him and Ski Boy are
Yeah,
actually buddies.
yeah, they're buddies. They might be roommates. They're brothers.
Okay, we've got Ski Boy and Blazel.
We like to
Both
think
living in mom's basements.
we like to think of Blaisdell as a sexually active band nerd. That's like the archetype, the male
No, that's
archetype.
what Bonnie likes to think of Blaisdell as.
That's true, actually.
No, yeah. So, yeah, he likes Dungeons and Dragons, and that's his whole thing. He just likes to play Dungeons and Dragons and get stoned, and is apparently a sexually active band nerd.
Good for Blaisdell. Bonnie, what about yours?
I am Cowboy Daddy. Yes, because you know Bill Monroe is the father of bluegrass, but I'm the daddy of bluegrass. Which is, it's the same, but it's different. It's a little more personal. Yeah, that's it. I'm a love him and leave him type of man. I ride in at sunset. I ride out at dawn. You don't know my last name. And my mustache is something you'll never forget. It's like one of these ones. Like a long on the side, like a Yosemite Sam mustache, but blonde. Yeah.
I'm just Steve. That's it.
I'm not going to say anything about Steve. Do we have to say stuff about Steve?
Steve's a Midwestern dad who likes grilling. I also just realized I missed a belt buckle on my pants, and that feels like something Steve
Typical
would do.
Steve. Typical Steve. Classic.
Whoops. Oh, well. Yeah, Steve likes to grill. Steve likes his dog. Steve likes flannels.
He might be a serial killer.
You don't know. Typical Midwest dad.
The lore.
So now that we're acquainted with your male alter egos, when you talk about masculine and feminine sides in a band, how does that, could you talk a little bit about what masculine or feminine energy is in songwriting or in performing and how that comes out in this band?
I think there's a lot of roles that are placed on performers that I don't think mean anything, like as far as like how much of a woman or how much of a man you are. Like, I remember rolling up to a festival here in Colorado, and I went to get my backstage credentials, and the lady was like, "Are you in the band, or are you just sleeping with someone in the band?" It's like that
She actually said
yes,
that?
and then I was clearly horrified, and she tried to backtrack, and she was like, "Oh, you must be the singer in the band," and I was like, "Nope, I'm the rhythm section of the band," and that was so surprising. There's also like I still will be on stage with a whole bunch of musicians, and they'll go down the line for solos, and they'll skip me. That happens all the time, and I can take a solo, as it turns out, and I feel like the big, aggressive, loud musical energy is associated with more masculine stuff, but we can all do that, and we can also go to the softer side, softer, sensitive side too, but we hate being told what to do in either category. We can do both.
Bonnie, did you add something?
Well, I just think sometimes yeah, like Joy was saying, I just wanted to kind of expand on that idea. I haven't thought about it like that before, of kind of like the male energy being this like dominating, kind of taking up space,
Yes.
and the feminine energy kind of holding space for each other. And that this band is kind of special because we're doing both of those things simultaneously. We're like letting someone step forward and have that like moment while we all like back them up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like equal parts masculine and feminine energy kind of coexisting and like supporting each other, which is the way to be like a fully formed human. So we like that.
And specifically when it comes to bluegrass, I mean, what has the role been for stereotypically that women are expected to play?
They're usually the singers. They're usually the sweet singers who strum the auto harp or something on stage. Nothing against the auto harp. That's a great instrument.
I had somebody come up to me after a gig. I played in a different band with, it was me and then all men. But I had a great time. It was awesome. But after our set, a man came up to me and he said, "Usually women are just a pretty face on stage, but you can actually play." And so, yeah, I don't know.
I think more than those roles being like something that is mandated through the music, because in the music there has been all kinds of rule breakers and tons of amazing women that have come before us. It's about the expectation. So the expectation is there, and that's what kind of feels stifling or feels suffocating as a performer. Whereas the example has been for decades. We've seen women over and over again kick butt over and over again and like be awesome. So that's not lacking. What's lacking, I think, is the perception sometimes in the audience and in the world in general. So that's something that we encounter and try to strive to kind of shake up or lampoon or kind of even make fun of with this band.
We're going to hear you play another live song in just a minute and then come back and talk just a little bit more. But, we are here in Fort Collins in Colorado. I think, Joy, it was you who said, there's simply no other audience like a Colorado audience. What makes Colorado so special for music?
Well, for starters, y'all will sit through any weather, whether that is sleet falling from the sky or like 3 inches of mud going underneath you. I've seen Colorado audiences sit through literally anything. They won't call off the show. Unless you're going to get a lightning strike, they won't call it off. And they're just diehard fans who show up all the time and support the musicians in every way that they possibly can. I've lived in a lot of big cities around the country, and I've never found a scene quite like this one. And it's not just from the fans to the musicians, it's from the musicians to the musicians too. I would call this like just a really healthy, thriving music scene. It's fun to be a part of.
I am talking to Big Richard in Colorado on World Cafe. You're going to play another original for us called The Missing Stair. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about The Missing Stair before we hear it?
Sure. This song I wrote with a couple friends of mine, Melody Walker and Phoebe Hunt, and we wrote it. It's kind of an examination of the reality that we have in our communities when you have somebody who is unsafe or makes you feel uncomfortable. We tend to, as humans, and especially as women humans, change our own behavior to kind of get around that person. And this song puts it in an analogy of a missing stair in a staircase and what that means to somebody who knows that stair is missing and they can just step over it, and what it means when the stair is gone and you don't know the stair is gone and you have a really unsafe staircase. So it's called The Missing Stair.
This is Big Richard, live for the World Cafe.
Into the hallway, door on the left. In the darkness, don't forget to skip a step. Down in the basement, there is a hole, and they won't fix it, though it's claimed so many souls. So we whisper, so we warn, so we won't burn down the house where we were born. Is a monster hidden there? Tell me, why won't we repair the missing stair? Walking on eggshells, I'm walking away, always so careful with the words I choose to say. Here in the lamplight, everything glows, blurring the lines between the lies and what I know. So we whisper, so we warn, so we won't burn down the house where we were born. Is a monster hidden there? Tell me, why won't we repair the missing stair? The missing stair. The missing stair. The missing stair. Oh, the missing stair. Tell me, why won't we repair the missing stair? something. You know I should have done more, but I didn't see you when you opened up that door. Oh, and they're gonna blame you for breaking your bones. They're gonna call it gravity while casting all their stones. Still we whisper, still we warn, 'cause we can't burn down the house where we were born. Made a monster and hit a man. Tell me, why won't we repair the missing stair? The missing stair. Oh, the missing stair. Tell me, why won't we repair the missing stair?
The Missing Stair from Big Richard on World Cafe. The final song you're going to perform for us tonight is a traditional song called Cluck Old Hen. Out of all of the traditional songs in your repertoire, why is this the one you wanted to play for us tonight?
I just really like to play the fiddle sometimes. And Bonnie's got this story about how I got the silver fiddle.
Yeah, show him.
I'm going to get it. You should tell us.
Yeah, Joy's gonna play the silver fiddle. And you guys, y'all have heard that song, The Devil Went Down to Georgia, right? You've heard about the golden fiddle. Well, there was a second place winner in that contest that nobody talks about, and her name is Dr. Joy Adams. She won the silver fiddle. Okay, so the devil and Johnny need to just take a seat. We got the second place shining silver fiddle in our band, so that's all.
All right. All right. Well, will you play it for us? Here's Big Richard with Cluck Old Hen.
wouldn't do me any harm. Cluck Old Hen, who can sing? You ain't laid an egg since the way last spring. Cluck Old Hen, who can squaw? You ain't laid an egg since the way last fall. Sometimes 6 and sometimes 10. Never enough, she's gone again. Cluck Old Hen, who can sing? You ain't laid an egg since
Cluck Old Hen. Big Richard performing live for the World Cafe at Washington's in Fort Collins for our Sense of Place Colorado series. Their upcoming new album is called Girl Dinner. I've been talking to Bonnie Sims, Joy Adams, Hazel Royer, and Eve Panning of Big Richard today. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun. I had a great time talking to you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. We had fun too.
I'm Raina Douris, back in a moment with more World Cafe.